guys, it's Michelle with Tennis Warehouse. Now this video is not for our hardcore viewers that know everything about racket maintenance as well as strings. Instead, this video has been inspired by some of the players on the team that I'm coaching and actually their parents. So we're going to talk about some tips and tricks to make sure that you as a player or you as a parent of a player are taking good care of your equipment. Specifically, we're going to talk about restringing today. First things first, I have a lot of players that will break strings during matches and practices, and they leave the racket just like this in their bag until they can drop it off to get restrung. Sometimes that's days, weeks even for certain players. So it's going to be super important to make sure that you cut out the strings once the string breaks. This is going to help remove any pressure or tension in the string head and keep the racket really well intact. Now from there, I've had a lot of parents drop off their kids' strings and they are very confused about what strings to pick and what the different meanings on the string packaging have. So I brought some of my favorite strings and some that our team is using, and I just want to talk you through some basics just so you know what to say when you do bring that racket in. I have a lot of girls that string with Hyper-G. They use 16 or 17 gauge. If you're asked about what gauge, just know that 17 is always going to be a great option, and then the smaller the number, the thicker the gauge. So players that are breaking strings often might want a thicker gauge string, and if they're not having too much arm problem or anything, a higher gauge will give them a little bit more spin, a little bit more power. I also brought Hyper-G Soft and then Hyper-G. So the softer string is just going to do exactly what it says. It's going to play nice and soft in that string bed. Another question that keeps coming up with some of the parents on my team is, should they choose a rough string or a non-rough string? So we have Luxe Eco Power, Luxe Eco Rough. Rough just simply means that the string is textured and it's going to add a little bit more bite to the ball. So super simple. If your player is not using a rough string, no need to change them. However, there has been times where I've had a player use a hybrid, and I tell the parent to bring the strings in and ask for a hybrid or a full bed, and they're very confused. So a full bed of strings just means that whole string bed is going to be one string type. A hybrid simply means it's going to be two different string types. I've had players also use hybrids and then start breaking strings more consistently. So then from there, we've gone from a hybrid, which is not as durable, to a full bed of a soft poly. Last but certainly not least, a lot of parents are always very curious what tension they should choose. Oftentimes the players don't know what tension they're using, but to be on the safe side, we always have recommended tensions on our website, or we always love 52 pounds. That's usually a safe tension range. It's not going to be too tight and it's not going to be too loose. So it can be one of those things where you suggest it, give it to the stringer, talk with them, and get it restrung. Last but certainly not least, sometimes players are having issues controlling the ball and they're not breaking strings. So that's an indicator for me to say maybe it's time to get your rackets restrung, or ask when's the last time they got the rackets restrung. If the string starts losing its playability, then it's a good time to cut those strings out and get a fresh pair of strings, and you're good to go. Hopefully these tips help you and the players in your life have an amazing season and a successful year. And if you need more tips and tricks, just visit us at tenniswarehouse.com.